Today's NBA news and rumors are presented by Aura, an all-in-one digital safety tool that's going to keep you safe online. Hackers are everywhere, and Aura is going to monitor all of your activity online and keep you safe. Get a free trial today, aura.com/chatsports. That is aura.com/chatsports. 14-day free trial. Link is in the comments and the description. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Let's get into the latest NBA news and rumors. A lot of buzz going on right now as draft week is here. No louder than what's going on with Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. Charania of The Athletic reported earlier today that talks between Irving and the Nets have, quote, gone stagnant. Looks like Irving could test the open market. Now, he does have a player option for next season, just shy of $37 million, so he has until June 29th to make a decision on that player option. He could certainly opt in and then maybe work a trade for himself if his future in Brooklyn's not going to work, or he could obviously opt out, hit the open market, and choose to do as he wants. Here's Shams. One of the most anticipated free agency situations involves Brooklyn's Kyrie Irving, who has a June 29th deadline on his $36.9 million player option for the 2022-23 season. However, multiple sources tell The Athletic that conversations about Irving's future have gone stagnant between him and the Nets. An impasse currently exists among the parties that clears the way for the seven-time All-Star to consider the open marketplace. I think Irving is leaving Brooklyn. I think Kyrie Irving is leaving the Brooklyn Nets. I think the whole situation last year with the vax status where he was just away from the team at first, then he had to be a part-time player, then the New York mandates were lifted, but by that point, the Nets were almost too far out of it, and, they ultimately get swept, and you add it all up, and it's just, I think Kyrie was a bit of a headache in Brooklyn. They're non-committal on a long-term deal, which I can't really blame them, which obviously leaves the Nets in a tricky spot. Here is just how unreliable Kyrie has been. And by the way, this is only in his tenure with the Nets. In 11 NBA seasons, he's only played more than 60 games 4 times. That's a low number. And by the way, 60 games in a normal season means you're still missing 22 games. That's how much time he has missed in his career. His first year with the Nets, 72-game season because the COVID-shortened year before the bubble, missed 52 games, only played in 20 games. Second year played in 54 of 72 games, another 72-game season, missed 18, which, by the way, it's not like that means he stayed healthy. He still missed a lot of time. And then this past year, mostly due to the vaccine situation, a couple of minor injuries that popped up, missed 53 games. Listen, I don't care about his opinions on the vax. I don't. He can do what he wants. The point is, though, he's proven to be an unreliable teammate, whether it's injuries, whether it's taking random sabbaticals. He cannot be trusted, period. That is a fact. You want to message me and say, oh, the vax thing is stupid. Well, Andrew Wiggins, he wanted to do the same thing as Kyrie. His teammates talked to him and said, hey, we can win a championship. You can help us do that. Decide to get it. Guess what? He played a huge role in the Golden State Warriors winning the finals. Everybody has their own choice, and I respect that. But at the end of the day, it's not even just this latest situation with Kyrie. Boston ran him out of town because he was a bad teammate and a bad leader for those young players. The end of his time in Cleveland, he forced a trade out of there as well. He wanted to be his own man and get away from LeBron. He cannot be trusted as a leader, which is why if I'm Brooklyn, I'm like, you know what? This has not worked through 3 seasons. Let's see if we can facilitate a trade for him. Will Kyrie Irving leave Brooklyn? That's the pinned comment on today's show. Type L for leave, type S for stay. If you get hit with that YouTube ad break, scroll on down, type L for leave or S for stay. Scroll back up. Video will be back and playing more on Kyrie Irving. So the question now is if he leaves, where will Kyrie go? Well, coming up, we have multiple suitors that have emerged for Kyrie if he does leave the net. Charania has that covered as well, so stay tuned. But this is a perfect time for you guys to subscribe to Chat Sports because we have the NBA draft later this week on Thursday and just the latest NBA news, rumors, trade buzz, free agency is just around the corner as well. Hit that big red button and subscribe, and of course, join us Thursday night as myself and Chase Sr. will be anchoring our NBA draft live coverage of both rounds, all 58 picks of this year's NBA draft. Find out who your team is going to select. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. We are the channel for you when it comes to the NBA draft. All right, more on Kyrie and where he could end up. Here's Shams again. Several teams across the league have kept tabs on the situation, wondering about the future of Irving in Brooklyn. The Lakers, Knicks, and Clippers are expected to be among the interested suitors if Irving heads elsewhere, multiple sources tell The Athletic. Here's the deal with LA, because I want to focus on them first, because obviously the potential reunion with LeBron James. If the Lakers can move Russ, that frees up space to make it work with Kyrie. Now, there could be some hard cap situations where he has to opt into his player option and then, facilitate a trade. Obviously, that would have to be handled before June 29th, as that's his deadline for the player option. But obviously, that is a possibility. But the key there is moving Russell Westbrook. Got to find a team that'll take on his salary. If I'm the Knicks, I'm not this desperate, man. I get the Knicks have not been able to reel in a star since Carmelo Anthony trading for him way back when. But is Kyrie the guy you want to tie yourself to? I just pointed out that when he was with the Celtics and he was the number one guy there with some young talent around him, they ran him out of town because he was that poor of a leader. It would be a similar situation where the Knicks have some young pieces. Kyrie comes in there and you're looking to him for leadership, and he's just not that guy. Now, the Clippers, I don't think this makes sense at all. I would not go down this route. Sure, on paper, Kyrie, Kawhi, and Paul George is pretty enticing, but Kawhi is coming back from his ACL, and had he not torn his ACL in the playoffs 2 seasons ago, the Clippers might have won the whole thing. They lost in the conference finals in 6 games to the Phoenix Suns without Kawhi. Imagine if they did have Kawhi. He's coming back. I think in today's NBA, 3 max players, it doesn't really work. We kind of saw this with Brooklyn with KD, Harden, and Kyrie. You got no depth. You need depth. I think 2 big-time stars and depth around them, that is the way to build the championship roster. Where will Kyrie play next season? Predict it for us down in the comments. Where is Kyrie Irving going to play for the 2022-23 season? I want to know what you guys think down below. Now, we told you guys today's show is presented by Aura, the online digital safety tool. Here's some of the benefits for you guys. Number 1, financial fraud protection. Listen, I do my banking online. I do a lot of online shopping. You want to stay secure, I used to be super hesitant when I would put my debit or credit card number online because I'm like, someone's going to hack it, someone's going to find it, and then I'm going to have to cancel my card, deal with my bank, all that stuff. Aura monitors all of that so you feel more secure. They'll send you suspicious or alerts on suspicious activity as well. ID theft protection. Millions and millions of people have their identity stolen every single year. Aura is going to prevent that from happening. They will monitor the situation. Online and device security overall. What does that mean? Social media, email accounts, your accounts with Amazon, with Netflix, all of that stuff, your passwords, it's going to stay protected. Plus, they have family plans up to 5 people. Grandma and grandpa, they don't know what the hell they're doing online. Get the family plan. 14-day free trial, aura.com/chatsports. Link is in the comments. It's in the description. Stay secure and stay safe online right now by getting this free trial today. It's aura.com/chatsports. Let's see what else is going on in the landscape of the NBA. Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges, according to Shams, could command a max contract. He is set to be a restricted free agent this summer. Free agency starts on June 30th, 6 o'clock Eastern time. And according to Shams, the Hornets could be hesitant to match an offer sheet if it is a max contract. And Miles Bridges is a tricky one because he had the best year of his career last year at over 20 points per game and 7 rebounds, shot almost 50% from the floor, but he's kind of in that category of player where he's not a max contract guy, but he's going to get one. I don't think he's really worthy of that. I think he's more in that $22 million per year, but some team might throw him $28 to $30 million, and if I'm the Hornets, you're kind of in a tough situation. You drafted this kid, you've developed this kid. Do you want to pay him a max deal, though? You might have to because you're Charlotte and you're not going to be able to bring in big-time free agents, but that's a tough one if you are the Hornets. So I'll be curious to see how this one plays out. He will have a strong market, and like Shams said, he could get a max deal, which throws a wrench into things for Charlotte because that makes things tricky. Would you give Miles Bridges a max contract? Curious what you guys think. Type Y for yes, type in for no. I like Miles Bridges, kind of in that category of player that probably isn't worthy of a max deal, though. So type Y for yes, type in for no. Would you give Miles Bridges a max deal? Now, a few other NBA headlines. Shams had a couple of these. Mark Stein had a few as well. Number one, Colin Sexton cleared for activity, missed most of last season with an injury. He's going to start working out, do full basketball activities. Shams did report that he could get around $20 million per year on a new deal, as he is also a free agent. Number two, the Indiana Pacers are reportedly shopping Malcolm Brogdon and Miles Turner. Keep an eye on that, as Indiana could be entering a full rebuild here. A lot of teams could have interest in both of those players. Storyline number three, the Timberwolves. Are they interested in Clint Capella? According to a report, they have monitored that situation, which I think is a bit interesting. How do him and Karl Anthony Towns fit together? Obviously, offense, defense there, where Cat would be the offensive stud, Capella on defense. Maybe you have to stagger those minutes a little bit. That would be fascinating. John Collins' trade buzz is back. He's been connected to trade rumors for years. Did sign that big 5-year, $125 million contract last year with Atlanta. But we did get a report a few weeks back that the Hawks are open to trading anybody that is not named Trae Young to try and improve this roster. And then final storyline with the NBA draft coming up on Thursday. Jabari Smith remains the favorite to go number one. He has worked out with Orlando and OKC, who holds the number 2 pick. But barring something unforeseen, I would say, looks like the Magic are expected to draft the number 1 overall. Again, we'll have you covered here on Chat Sports. Who's excited for the NBA draft? If you are, type me down in the comment section and be sure to subscribe, because we'll be live for the entire 2022 NBA draft.